Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Show sponsored by ExpressVPN. Stop putting your online data at risk. Get protected at expressvpn.com/Pat. 888-900-3393. It's great to have you here with us today as we continue to make the apocalypse fun.
Yay.
By the way, traffic and weather together every 3 minutes on the fives all day long to get you there. For those of us who are still working, you still have to be there on time. So
every 3 minutes on the fives?
Every 3 minutes on it's today.
I mean,
so
obviously,
it's going to be great.
My math struggles have been chronicled on the program.
I know, so don't even try.
Okay.
Don't even try. I guess we've got some emails that came in after the show yesterday.
Some tweets.
It's tweets, emails. Sorry, I just traveled back in time about 15 years. So some tweets that came in after the show. I guess since I've been referring to a few things lately, as CGI.
Everything is. He doesn't believe any video that we put on the screen anymore.
I don't know about that, but there have been some pretty obvious videos that are just impossible, and we're done with CGI. That's all I'm saying. But Amy What's-Her-Face sent this tweet. Keith, hey, Pat, I just found a road to your house. Pat, that's CGI.
Now, that would actually be CGI.
Yes, that would.
Because we know that doesn't exist.
Right, exactly. And that's you just trying to, trick us into thinking that you can get to my house when you can't.
One day I'm actually going to just show up at your house. I'm going to and Jackie's going to answer and you're like, who is it? It's Keith. Impossible. It's CGI Keith.
But I wonder if people would be surprised to know you've been to my house. I've never been to yours.
You want to come over?
No, do I?
Yeah.
It just can't. There's no roads.
You want to come watch the draft with me?
I'd love to, but
yeah, because the Falcons, they're going to trade up to number 2.
No.
And then I'll kick you out after they make
roads.
their pick.
Dang it.
No roads?
Darn. Oh. Dang. From Roswell Alien, got this due to less pollution, the Universal logo is now visible.
That is so creative, man. Look at that.
Uh-huh.
If you're listening to the podcast or on Blaze Radio,
you got the planet.
Yeah, the Universal logo. And then somebody has got the camera at their house aimed up toward the sky, and you can just faintly see the Universal logo.
That's really funny.
It's very good. Creative.
That was a lot of pollution that had been blocking that out for who knows how long.
Yeah.
I don't know how long.
Yeah, well, see, there's a benefit to a global pandemic. It's you can see the Universal
Have you seen
Studios logo.
Have you actually seen the photos though of the lack of pollution in places like Mumbai?
Uh-huh.
It's amazing. It is pretty amazing.
Yep.
Big news to get the day started right off the bat here. Mummy Sarcophagus has revealed a 3,000-year-old painting of an Egyptian goddess.
Oh, that's cool.
Believed to be the goddess inside a mummy sarcophagus, has been seen for the first time in 3,000 years.
Wow.
Experts opened up a sarcophagus under restoration in Perth, Scotland. Wait, I was kind of expecting Egypt
Australia,
there.
right? Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, I was thinking Perth, Australia, because that's a big city there.
When experts lifted the mummified body of Ta Kerhub
Yeah, sure.
from within her final resting place.
Oh, that's such a feminine name, too. Taku-her.
Uh-huh. Lo and behold, 2 brand new antiquities were there, much to the delight of the restorers. When the mummy was finally lifted from the coffin, conservationists were startled to discover that 2 paintings line through the coffin's trough.
Trough.
The term used to describe both the inside and outside of its lower section.
Wow.
As we all know, that's the trough.
We all know that. Yeah.
We never had a reason to lift the whole thing so high that we could see underneath the trough, and never had lifted the mummy out before and didn't see anything there.
It's weird.
That is really weird.
So do they need to go back and look at all these mummies that they've had over the years and
see how
say,
many...
hey, let's see if there's paintings underneath the body? It seems like they could find a whole bunch of fun stuff. Because how long has that mummy been there that they haven't lifted it up to look?
Yeah.
What year did they bring that up to Scotland? Does it say in the story like 1924 or something?
I'm not seeing it so far.
I think they've had this mummy since 1924, and no one ever bothered to.
Oh,
I don't
36.
know, 1936.
Been at the Perth Museum in Scotland since 1936.
And this whole time.
I mean, but they don't say if they know what the mummy sounded like, though, at this point. Did it sound like this?
Oh, yeah, I bet it did.
Huh. Probably. I mean, isn't that what all mummies sounded like back in the day?
That's what I've heard on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, boy.
That's a long way to the well, my friends.
No, but it was the biggest story of the day. Had to get to it right out of the gate.
Yeah, exactly. 888-900-3393. So now President Trump is saying, wait a minute, you're getting back to work a little too soon there, Georgia. You might want to back off a little bit.
Don't understand this.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I do kind of understand because it's nail salons and tattoo parlors, and that's pretty close in work. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to be right on somebody, and you're in pretty close, intimate contact with those specific businesses. Maybe you wait on the nail salons and the tattoo parlors. I don't know. Or maybe you leave it up to the personal responsibility of your citizens. And that seems to be what Governor Kemp is doing. He's leaving it up to the responsibility of his citizens. But President Trump said yesterday, I told the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, that I disagree strongly with his decision to open certain facilities. But at the same time, he must do what he thinks is right. I want him to do what he thinks is right. But I disagree with him on what he's doing.
What? Okay.
All right.
So now, is he just covering his bases in case Georgia flares up, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. That was my thought as well. So I don't know.
Okay.
Trump said of Kemp's plan, I think spas, beauty salons, and tattoo parlors and barbershops, it's just too soon. I love those people who use all those things, but they can wait a little bit longer.
But look, if you've been waiting for that tattoo, you've been wanting that Tweety Bird tattoo for the longest time.
You can't wait another week for that.
I mean, you've been on lockdown. You're like, oh my gosh, when can I get out and go get my Tweety Bird tattoo or my anchor on the arm tattoo that I've just been dying for?
Or the heart with mom in the middle.
The heart with mom. I need that tattoo, and I need it now. What? Friday? Friday they're opening? Oh, I'm there. Yeah.
It probably saved somebody's life. You can finally get that desperately needed tattoo.
Man,
so
I guess that's an essential. But now, born and raised in Georgia, okay? Mm-hmm. Now that I think this through, Pat, yeah, that's probably an essential business down there in the
tattoos
in the South.
Yeah, right. Well, for those of us who do manicures all the time, I mean,
yeah,
you got to have that done.
Yeah. Are you? Do you go and get a mani-pedi with Chris Cruz all the time?
Never had a mani-pedi. A mani of any kind.
No mani, no petty?
No petties, no.
No mani-pedi?
No.
I tell you, Chris Cruz will take you. He'll go and
He unashamedly admits it, doesn't he?
He'll soak his feet and shoot the breeze with you all afternoon.
Yeah, no thank you.
So I've heard.
That's not my deal. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. I'm going to play this because obviously you're going to get bashed for this. I understand what he's saying here, but the left-wing media is going to take this and run with this, and of course they are. Here's what he said about getting back to business as usual.
But let's face reality of where we are. In Texas, we have 29 million people. We've lost 495, and every life is valuable. But 500 people out of 29 million, and we're locked down, and we're crushing the average worker. We're crushing small business. We're crushing the markets. We're crushing this country. And what I said when I was with you that night, there are more important things than living. And that's saving this country for my children and my grandchildren, and saving this country for all of us. And I don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. But man, we got to take some risk and get back in the game and get this country back up and running.
Right. I mean, the sentiment is exactly dead on. But to say it that bluntly, that there are more important things than living, of course, everybody's going to pile on you for that. But is it not true? Mm-hmm. Is the enduring freedom of our children and grandchildren more important? Is saving this country for our descendants? Is that more important?
Yeah, and it's not just this generic save the country, save our freedom. It could very well save lives because of what is happening to this country and the quality of life that's going to get lost. That's being lost.
Yeah.
We've got how many millions of people that are going to be in poverty? I think I saw 1.2 billion children or something. I don't quote me on this, but it was 1.2 billion people now going to be in poverty or something. I don't know, because of this shutdown. And you alluded to the pollution. Yeah, we're enjoying being able to see the skyline of Los Angeles. We're enjoying being able to see the Himalayas. But I'm sorry, at what cost? Again, another unpopular opinion, but that just means that no industry is happening, no progress is being made, and we are living, this is the Green New Deal.
You just heard it. Keith Malinak hates clean air.
Yes.
He hates it. He can't stand the sight of clean air.
That's right. It's either the New Orleans Saints or clean air. Not sure which I despise more. Clean water's up there as well. I can't stand it. But that's what we're going through right now. We are living the Green New Deal that we warned people.
Yeah, we are.
Is going to cause mass poverty, starvation, and death on this planet. And, well, congratulations. We've lived it now for about a month.
Yeah, and could it possibly result in more deaths than the pandemic? Absolutely it could. It absolutely could. It is time to get this economy rolling again. And not just for us and our descendants. Not just for us, all Americans, and future generations of Americans. But the entire world depends on us. They really do. I mean, if America goes down, who is going to save everybody else? China? Good luck with that.
They started this.
Yeah.
They started this mess. I mean, look, you can spin it any way you want to, Pat Gray, but obviously it's clear that you just want people to die.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what it always boils down to.
Wasn't that the Babylon Bee thing we had yesterday? Every argument you make for opening the country back up, you just
is translated into, I just want people to die. So
that's where we're at.
There's no winning on this discussion.
No.
But again, as with the Stanford, I keep thinking back to the Stanford study that came out this week and how they believe that, maybe 55 times the amount that's being reported of people who are infected. 55 times that number are actually infected. That's a staggering sum, and it's also really good news if it's true.
Yeah. And then there's a USC study out now as well. So we've got a couple studies that are going on.
Oh, they did do a USC study as well?
Yeah, and so now there's a theory out there that maybe it came to California sooner. There's another guy who is saying, I think it came to California months sooner.
Months sooner?
Yeah, right. And then there wasn't this lockdown, and people had it, and they had no idea.
And they spread it around.
Well, not only that, but they developed a resistance to it. This is another theory that's out there, okay?
Uh-huh.
And that so when the next wave came, California not doing bad.
Mm-hmm.
And his theory is that there was some resistance built up from when it originally infected between Asia and California.
Does make sense.
A couple months sooner, yeah.
I mean, scientifically, that does make sense. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the case, but it certainly could be. We have this open mic situation at the White House. Speaking of the USC study, a couple of White House staffers were preparing, it looks like they were preparing a news conference or something, and they apparently didn't realize that a microphone was on. And they're talking about the day's events and the social distancing. And
I think one of them is John Roberts.
All of that.
Right, from Fox News.
Oh, okay.
John Roberts, yeah.
Is one of them?
Yeah, him and I think a photographer or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here was the conversation back and forth.
What's up, Barry?
Oh, yeah, it is John Roberts.
You can take out the mask, Doug. The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3 according to USC. Is it really? That's reassuring. USC. Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway. USC and
wait, okay, pause it for a second. Okay, wait, what? I'm sorry, what did you say? What did you just say? Everybody here has been vaccinated anyway. With what?
I don't know.
Wait, so...
Is that the word he meant to use?
I think so. What other word fits there?
See, I don't know.
He
Does it
seems
go
to
back
be
to
saying
the whole?
that it's not a big deal for us because we're all safe. So what do you? So is there a vaccine that you guys have been given that nobody else is privy to? It's been kept from the rest of us that it even exists, but everybody there has been vaccinated, so they're not getting it. Start this from the beginning again because it's worth pondering, I think.
What's up, Barry?
All right, man.
Where do you go, Barry?
You can take out the mask, Doug. The case fatality rate's like 0.1 to 0.3.
Pause it right there. Okay, so he tells the guy, John Roberts tells this other guy to take off the mask. The mortality rate's been calculated at 0.1%, so don't even worry about it. All right, let it roll.
That's reassuring.
USC.
Everybody here's been vaccinated anyway.
USC and LA County Public Health come up with a study. They found that there's 7,000 cases in California, but they really believe that there are anywhere from 221,000 to 442,000 people who were infected.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
So that makes it 0.1 to 0.3? Does a study to give out based on it?
Yeah, just give it to that. So it suggests the case fatality rate is 10.
Wow.
Which puts you right in line with the flu.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
So it was a hoax.
I don't think it was a hoax.
I mean, that's an interesting conversation there that they don't know we're going to be privy to. Fascinating. But there are a couple of studies. I guess the point is there was a couple of, the point is they've got a vaccine and we don't. And the elites are being vaccinated while the rest of us, minions, we don't matter. And we're not even told that there is one. So that's point one. Point two is a couple of big time university studies have shown that there's way more people infected than we ever believed, which is a good thing because a lot less people have been dying of it then. Instead of maybe a 5% mortality rate, there's a 0.1%. That's a big difference. That's a really big difference, and it should be comforting to a lot of people. And we hear the horror stories of some people who get it and don't die, but have it really badly, and it's scary, and they can't breathe, and there might even be some lingering damage afterwards.
Mm-hmm. So you got Georgia, Tennessee, Texas opening up to some degree or another. South Carolina, Alaska, Oklahoma added their name to that list yesterday. So slowly but surely we're
getting back to normal.
Opening back up, yeah. Now, and of course, there's some states that never shut down to begin with. So kudos to you.
South Dakota among those,
right? Mm-hmm.
I think. Wasn't Oklahoma? I thought Oklahoma was one of those too, but they're said to be opening back up, so they must have closed.
They were one of those that really. Remember we had the Oklahoma police.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
it was like if you see something, say something. We'll come down and crack their heads. And I don't know if now's the best time for that, but Oklahoma had some nasty tornadoes yesterday. The video is amazing. Just look at that, Pat. That's a video of a tornado hitting a populated area yesterday. So all across Oklahoma and Texas. Earlier in the week we had multiple tornadoes and many casualties, a couple dozen casualties in the southeast. So it's tornado season. Please be safe.
888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about Burrow. This is a great company, really unique. It's kind of hard to screw up a sofa. As long as you can sit on it, it's doing its job, right? Well, your couch doesn't have to be just whatever. It could actually be great. If you're ready to upgrade to a sofa worthy of your space, you got to go with the original disruptor furniture brand, Burrow. Burrow is probably the sofa you've heard of on a lot of other podcasts as well. It has built-in USB chargers. You can rearrange the furniture, the furniture parts. For instance,
so cool, mix and match, right?
Yes, like if your decor is light and you have light wood legs on your couch, and then you decide you want to go darker or the other way around, you just switch out the legs. It's really cool. if you have a sectional, you can have a really big sectional, and then if you move into a smaller space or you put the sectional in a different space with less space, you can remove parts of it and then replace the arm at the end of it, so it doesn't look like you just...
It's so awesome.
It's really
it's like
cool.
Customizable furniture.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. And there's more of the sofas, of course. They create all kinds of practical, stylish pieces for your home. A collection of affordable rugs, coffee tables, love seats, armchairs, ottomans. A genius sleep kit transforms your comfy sofa into an even comfier bed. Your guests will love sleeping on Burrow. Get $75 off your purchase and free 1-week shipping at burrow.com/Pat. That's BURROW.com/Pat for $75 off at Burrow.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
And of course, we got to get the economy going again and open things up again so that everything doesn't go bankrupt, so that all businesses don't shutter. I mean, it's of course affecting small businesses, and it's heart-wrenching and tragic. But it's even affecting the bigger businesses. You know, I think we mentioned briefly Disney's travails. Disney heiress, I think she's the great niece of Walt, Abigail Disney, really upset about employee layoffs compared to executive salaries and benefits. Disney heir Abigail Disney called them out for protecting dividends while furloughing 100,000 workers.
Wow. Yeah, this is Roy Disney's daughter. Correct.
100,000 workers at Disney gone already.
Is horrific.
Yeah, that sucks. Really, you couldn't have moved some things around, waited a little while, done something? So she tweets out, Abigail Disney tweets out, what the actual F? Maybe we just take a little side road here to address that phrase. What the actual F? This seems like a fairly new thing, isn't it? Adding actual to the F word? I've been hearing that.
And there's also AF.
What the actual...
No, it's like...
What the...
No, this is wrong.
Okay, I don't know.
It's like,
I'm not familiar with it yet.
Like, I'm mad AF.
Okay, yes. As is the word there.
Making the apocalypse fun. Here we are.
Does seem to strengthen the expression a little bit.
It sure does.
Even though it doesn't really make sense. Would you ever ask what the imagined F? No, I don't think you would. I don't think so. What the fake F? No, you'd say what the actual F. What the abstract F?
Okay, now that's a fun one. I'm going to start working
you want to try
that
that?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, off air.
So anyway,
abstract.
Abigail Disney continues. Look, dividends aren't all bad, given the number of fixed income folks who rely on them. But still, 80% of shares are owned by the wealthiest 10%. So that excuse only goes so far. But the real outrage is, of course, those bonuses. All $1.5 billion of them. $1.5 billion. That'd pay for 3 months' salary to frontline workers. She's got a really good point there. Mm-hmm. And it's going to people who have already been collecting egregious bonuses for years. Here's what they say about it. Disney protected incentive schemes, which account for most of the executives' remuneration. Mr. Iger earned $65.6 million in 2018 and $47 million last year. Holy crap, this poor guy took an $18 million pay cut?
Man.
Wow.
Would
Keith,
you like to...
would you set up a GoFundMe page for Bob Iger, please?
Okay.
Stat.
I would love to be in a position to take an $18 million pay cut.
No kidding.
But, I mean, seriously, these companies, until this global pandemic and no commerce for the past 6 weeks, I guess I didn't realize that so many of them were cutting it this close with their books.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You know? And then...
It seems ridiculous.
And not to play the Bernie card whatsoever. So don't misunderstand this. But it puts these salaries into perspective of these CEOs like Iger. When you think, my gosh, you were 6 weeks away from having to lop off 100,000 jobs. Maybe you shouldn't be paying them quite so much.
In this context, it does seem bad. In a normal context, during a normal year,
right?
I don't have any problem with these CEOs making that kind of money because, for instance, Bob Iger, turned Disney into an absolute money-making behemoth.
Yeah.
There just aren't a lot of people in the world who can do that. Mm-hmm. So in a free market system, that kind of expertise and that level of success over the years is worth something. Mm-hmm. And it's worth a lot, as a matter of fact. Just like professional athletes, when there's a huge market for a skill you possess and very few other human beings on the planet can do it, you're going to be compensated accordingly. That's the free market. But when you're talking about furloughing 100,000 employees, yeah, I think you should probably make some little alterations in that.
Maybe big companies like this need to tie CEO salaries to job performance. To just their pay is completely related to profit. And the percentage that the company makes, that's what your salary makes. Something like that. I don't know.
It may well be that's been the case with Disney in prior years. Right now, everybody's having a hard time because they're closed. You know, their cruise line is closed. Their theme parks are closed. Their movie business is shuttered. They've got nothing going on right now. They've got ESPN, who doesn't have any sports. So now it's difficult.
Yeah, remember how ironic? The big moneymaker for Disney right now is ABC Nightly News with that David Moore guy. David whatever.
Muir.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway.
Number one show on TV.
Isn't that weird? I mean, it's come full circle.
The top 5 shows. Or David Muir. That's hard to believe.
Yeah.
So anyway, Abigail Disney continued because she's pissed. Mr. Chapek could potentially earn, he's going to be the one who replaces Bob Iger. Could potentially earn an annual bonus of not less than 300% of salary, in addition to a long-term incentive award of not less than $15 million. This is why I was quiet in March when executives at the company made a big PR push to call attention to the fact that they were giving up a portion of their salaries for the year. I told people to wait until we heard about the rest of the compensation package, since salary is a drop in the bucket to these guys. The real payday is in the rest of the package. Yeah. So,
and that makes you just throw your hands up and say, "What the abstract?"
Yes, exactly. What the abstract F? That's what you think, don't you?
That's what I think.
The first thing that comes to mind is what the abstract F. But she says it gets worse. The frontline workers at the parks had to fight for years to get their pay bumped up to $15 an hour, and the PR folks touted that as an incredible magnanimity on the management's part. But if you know the backstory, which I do, you'd be horrified to know just how hard they made it for people to ask for that $15. The way they floated around congratulating themselves, it was damn hard to take. If a frontline worker gets 40 hours a week, and that's a big if, since just like everyone else, Disney shaves away hours to keep folks from being full-time. Wow. So anyway, she goes on and on about how bad the pay scale is for the regular workers. And she says, so Iger's compensation for this year will amount to 1,500 times the pay of the regular workers. Chapek's, if he gets the full amount, is 300% of his $3 million base, or $9 million, 288 times the frontliners. Yeah, but you can't compare the CEOs to the lowest rung worker, who are usually teenagers just starting out in the job industry.
Why not? Why not, Pat?
Because
why not?
The teenagers aren't skilled yet. That what they're doing is not worth as much as the CEO who has brought the company billions of dollars from his decisions.
So you hate the little man?
No, I don't. But the little man is going to start a little bit lower, obviously, than the CEOs. In fact, quite a bit lower than where the CEOs are. It's a high-profile, high-risk job where it means billions of dollars either gained or lost for the company. So, yeah, the CEO is going to make more. They're going to make multiples more than the frontline workers. Compare them to some of the workers that have been there for 10 or 15 years.
And I just hate this. I mean, we see report after report of all of these companies. This goes back to how you started this segment, talking about how we've got to get back to work.
Right.
Because people are being devastated.
In every industry, in every business. It's got to stop. Got a Pat Unleashed. Let's go to Matt in New York. Hey, Matt, you're on the Blaze.
Bingo!
Now that's how it's done right there.
That's a winner.
That's how it's done. Where did your bingo occur, Matt?
Oh, my bingo occurred right on the bottom, Pat.
Yes, the bottom line, straight across.
We are not a democracy.
Yes.
Dr. Math.
Lalski. The
mummy
voice we just heard.
Spoken song lyrics.
Indeed.
And it's un-American.
All right. You won yourself a prize from
shop.blazemedia.com/Pat.
Squiggly underline.
No, that's later.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah. All right. So what do you want from the store?
I'm going to get the Bennington T-shirt.
Okay. All right, hang on a second. We'll get you hooked up with all the information. Hold on. So we know where to send whatever it is you want to, wherever you live.
New York?
Right.
We should ask him, how's he doing with the coronavirus stuff up there?
Yeah, but now they're talking to him.
Why?
I don't know.
I thought we were talking to him.
I know. Then I put him on hold, told him to wait. All right, got some tweets here from DMXDM. Pat uses email? That's newfangled. What's the fax hotline for the show? All right, smart
That's
Alex.
Funny. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're installing, pretty soon, we're installing a pager.
I wouldn't put it past Pat.
Yeah.
I mean...
Because that's how newfangled we are.
Because, I mean...
Only the latest technology will do for us.
No, this is actually a really good question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think you use email or text more because you use both of them very infrequently?
Oh, I use email more than text, for sure. Yeah, there's no question.
Okay.
Yeah, no question. And I don't use email that much, frankly, anymore. But
yeah, don't forget to reply to that.
Yes, I know.
One email from earlier.
Mm-hmm. LJ Trekker tweets, what the CGIF?
What the CG? What the actual?
What the abstract
CGIF?
NFL draft. B to Bodine tweeting about Keith. I think what will happen with the Falcons is they'll trade up to the number 3, but the call will be fumbled, and they'll somehow end up trading down to number 28. So he worked in a 28-3 reference.
Sure did.
From the Super Bowl from years ago.
And so smoothly.
Very smoothly. Didn't he, though? Expertly done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Speaking of which, getting into sports and while the NFL draft is tonight, this is kind of cool. ESPN has done something a little bit different because they can't go anywhere and actually film commercials right now. So look what they did instead with Kenny Mayne. They took a...
Did they do CGI?
They did. Yes, they actually did do CGI.
Let's get right to it. The Chicago Bulls have won their second three-peat. This is the kind of stuff that ESPN will eventually make a documentary about. They'll call it something like The Last Dance and make it a 10-part series and release it in the year 2020. It's going to be lit. You don't even know what that means yet. While I'm making predictions, jeans will get extra tight. There'll be a thing called a butt fumble, and this clip will be used to promote the documentary in a State Farm commercial. It's just a hunch.
Just a hunch. Pretty good hunch, though. Yeah, so they CGI'd Kenny Mayne's mouth into his 1998 face, which is kind of funny.
That was good stuff. Yeah.
ESPN does some really creative promos.
Yes.
Really creative stuff. They're actually pretty good at marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I like them. Also, tonight is the big draft, as we mentioned, and hopefully we'll have a season where the draftees can play in.
Oh, we're having a season.
We better have a season.
They can play in my backyard. Just have to run back and forth,
couple of
20 times to call it a full field. But
that's what we used to do in school when we had to make it. When 100 yards had to be improvised a little bit, and you had to go back and forth a few times.
Those were the days.
Oh, good times.
Uh-huh.
Good times. I'd forgotten about that.
I mean, it would be touch football, right? You wouldn't tackle. Huh?
Yeah, of course So it was always
right,
touch.
Right?
Yeah,
it was always touch.
Right.
You didn't...
Never did we play touch football.
No, because that would be irresponsible and dangerous and whatnot.
Always tackle football. Always.
I remember we would play tackle football, and I would be so sore. I would come home and I would take a bath, man. This hurts. But it was fun, and it was worth it. It wasn't this little two-hand touch crap.
We survived.
Uh-huh.
888-900-3393. Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is on the new cover of Madden.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes, he is.
And
that's a Madden curse, you know?
There's a curse that comes with that.
He may have already been cursed because he, tweeted a thank you to Donald Trump, and of course you can't have that.
He said, Trump.
Trust Trump. I don't know, man.
I don't know what that means.
It's Truz AF, I believe. I don't know what that is exactly. We're learning new words today, new abbreviations. But anyhow.
He said, I saw him making a statement about me being a great pick.
Yeah.
My teammate congratulating me and stuff like that. I was just like, appreciate that, Truz. What?
No.
I honestly don't know what that means.
I don't know.
The retweet took off and ignited plenty of political debate, which Jackson is now trying to stem. I wasn't making no political... Well, if he wasn't making no political statement, obviously he was making some political statement.
Here we go.
Am I right?
You're
the double negative makes it a positive statement.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't making no political statements or anything like that. I was just, like I said, just agreeing to what he was saying about me and my teammate. That's all.
He was just saying...
Truz.
He was just saying, thank you for acknowledging me as a good pick by the Baltimore Ravens. So,
but you can't do that.
No, you can't. You cannot show any kind of gratitude toward Trump.
Nope.
No.
You must hate his guts. You must wish him death, or you're a sellout.
Exactly. So I thought it might be fun since Lamar Jackson was chosen for the cover of Madden this year to kind of go through, because there's a curse, there's a bad curse, and like the worst is Michael Vick when he was with the Falcons.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, you're gonna work your way.
Yeah, we'll work our way up a little bit.
Yeah, but a lot of these aren't really a curse.
Really?
Yeah, like the first few are just kind of like, whatever. That's why. Yeah.
So some of them, like Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, I don't know. It tries to make some justification, but it really gets ridiculous.
He caught just 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, he still had a tremendous year with all kinds of catches and yards, but he only had 5 touchdown catches the year of his Madden cover.
I hope this printed out properly.
Then there was...
Been fighting that printer for 24 hours. Yeah, I see you looking at me, printer. Oh, today better be different.
Ray Lewis.
Okay.
Do you know what the deal was with Ray?
Did he murder someone right after he was on the cover?
Killed a couple of people.
Was that his curse? Doesn't seem like a curse for him.
Yeah, obviously wouldn't include that part.
That was one of the biggest debacles in the city of Atlanta in their history. The other, of course, being the Super Bowl. No, it was is when he's like, all right, give me immunity, and I'll tell you everything I know.
Right.
Nah, I don't know nothing. And then he was done. No one ever went to justice.
Yep.
So what do we got?
Okay, then they got Sherman. They have, what's his face from the Seattle Seahawks? They have.
What did he do?
Richard Sherman.
Did he have to stop talking for a season?
No, there was no curse with Richard Sherman.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I put him in a bad order.
Yeah. Like Odell Beckham. Okay.
He got traded to the Browns. That's his curse.
Got traded to the Browns. Didn't have a very good season last year. Drew Brees. What was his curse?
I don't know.
His 22 interceptions were his career high. 22 interceptions after being on the Madden cover.
Okay.
See? All
right. We're getting
Adrian Peterson. Okay. Huge Pro Bowl years. And then
he's on the cover of Madden.
He missed 2 games due to groin and foot injuries.
Oh, that's bad, right?
Well, let's not forget a little sun incident there, too. Later on. It was really ugly.
Okay.
You got Marshall Faulk. Okay, Pro Bowl. And then he's on the cover.
Okay, then what happens?
And then the 2003, his streaks declined a bit.
I told you. I put these in the wrong order. I just grabbed them off the printer. When that thing finally printed, I was like, forget it. I'm just putting them in this order and we'll deal with it. Okay, so
let's try Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Okay, Brett Favre. His big deal was he played decent the next season, but he led the league with 22 interceptions on a 9-17.
No surprise there.
No surprise.
Brett Favre.
He had a lot of interceptions.
That was weird. That cover,
year.
He was on the cover in a Jets uniform. That just looks icky.
Stupid. Yeah, that's stupid.
I mean, the next thing you know, he's going to be in a Falcons uniform. That would have never, ever happened. Would it have?
Madden 10 had Troy Polamalu and Larry Fitzgerald on its cover.
Oh, okay.
On Madden 10. Let's see what happened to these guys. The Steelers safety then missed 7 games due to injury, but played extremely well in the 9 that he did start. Fitzgerald, on the other hand, was as consistent as always.
I was just about to say,
and made the Pro Bowl.
Again, the curse, not what it used to be.
No, it's really not. Vince Young, was on the cover. And then, of course, Young played poorly in his lone postseason game, throwing 1 interception, no touchdown passes. And, of course, he had a much shortened career. Way shorter than many people thought he would have. Vince Young was a weird story. Madden 2002 had Dante Culpepper on the cover.
Okay.
And his big deal was he continued to struggle in 2002, going 6-10 with a league-high 23 interceptions.
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere.
So
right?
maybe Dante Culpepper shouldn't have been on the cover in the first place. Maybe that was really the problem.
It might also be the Keith Malinak curse. A lot of these guys ended up on Keith Malinak's fantasy football team.
Peyton Hillis. Do you even remember Peyton Hillis?
Oh, is that the white dude running back for the Browns?
Yes.
Because when this was coming
Madden 12.
off the printer,
He was on the cover of Madden 12.
I was like, who is that?
Peyton Hillis.
I'd forgotten, yes.
Completely forgot. He finished the year with 587 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns is all. This was a good example of why fans shouldn't vote for Madden cover athletes, because it's all a big joke from the start. And Peyton Willis kind of went away after that. So, I mean, he did. You could kind of say, yeah, that was the start of the downfall of his career. Sean Alexander. Let's see. He wasn't the same after his injury, which he was injured the next year, broke his foot, and understandably so. The curse hit him hard.
Yeah.
So there's a guy who really went on the Madden cover and then was never the same afterwards. Donovan McNabb. He was having a solid year before his injury, but he got a groin injury that landed him on injured reserve. Groin injuries hurt. I don't like them. And they can really derail a professional career.
Painful
AF.
AF.
Yes. Rob Gronkowski. The Madden curse bit Gronk right out of the gate.
Yeah.
He missed the season's first 2 games due to a hamstring injury and simply wasn't himself in the next 2 weeks. Either. Once he finally got healthy and was playing at a high level, the injury bug bit again. He suffered a back injury later in the season, required surgery, landed him on injured reserve.
Yeah. Some
of these seem real, right? Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Michael Vick. This is the main one.
This is it.
This is the really big one. Vick couldn't even reach the regular season in 2003 before the Madden curse hit him in a big way. Suffered a fractured fibula in the preseason, forcing him to miss the first 11 games of the year. He returned week 13, but his play was lackluster. He finished with 585 yards passing for the season and 4 touchdowns with 3 interceptions. This was the first real sign of the Madden curse as we know it. And, of course, then shortly thereafter was the dog betting thing or the dog fighting thing, right?
Yep. So,
wow.
So that happened there.
So you don't want to be on the cover of Madden.
No, and that...
For some of us, that's a real problem because, man, they want me to be on the cover really, really badly. And I keep telling them, no, I don't want that Madden
But that's that email I told you. I said, have you replied to that email yet? There's a conference call about you possibly being on Madden next year. And dude hasn't replied. I mean, if they sent you a text, I don't know that would help either.
No, it wouldn't. If they sent me a page, if they paged me, I might be able to return the phone call.
Now, as we learned on At the Mic, my podcast, where I sit down and have conversations with folks, you were the inaugural episode, and you have played football. You played in high school, and I forgot what you told me the position you played. Was it linebacker? Yeah. So what number were you? You remember? I mean, you may not remember. Yeah. Okay. So
quite honestly.
Anyhow, somebody. All I'm getting at is somebody find Helena High, right? Helena High?
I went to
Capital High. Dang it.
Yeah.
So either Capital High or he's not interested. So he's just like, whatever. Or a Packers uniform or a BYU uniform. Put Pat in it. Let's do a mock Madden cover of those 3 uniforms. See, now he's interested because we want to put those on tomorrow's Frivolous Friday when Jeffy's here. And share those with you. Okay?
Oh, do we ever?
Yes, we do.
Do we ever?
So
Man.
linebacker Pat Gray.
On the cover of Madden.
Yes.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. And so anyway, the end result of all the football talk, the NFL draft is tonight.
Yeah.
And it's going to be conducted at people's homes, in their basements, on the phone, online, on Zoom. Is it Zoom? Is that what they're doing?
Do
we even know what they're using?
No.
We probably don't know what they're using, so people can't hack it as easily as they otherwise would.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be interested to see how it's conducted, because I would think it would be Rich Eisen in the studio at the NFL Network, and then he'll throw it to the teams, and then the teams call Roger Goodell, who's in his basement, and then he finally makes the announcement.
This is going to be interesting, to
Very
say the
interesting.
least. Starts at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock Eastern.
And you said they did a dry run the other night, and it went really badly.
Very badly. Yeah.
Like the guy who we played yesterday.
Very similar, it sounds like. There was a lot of people not muting their microphones.
That's gonna happen.
There was a lot of people just waiting, staring at the screen, not realizing they were being talked to. And this started with the first pick, apparently. And the article made it clear that it was the league, not the Bengals, that was having the trouble, and that all the problems were on their end. So,
and I love the guy who did the mock draft, where he goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati, you're up first. Go ahead. Cincinnati with the first pick in the 2020 draft picks, Joe. And then they go out.
Okay, I'm going to find that, and I'm going to tweet that out, because
it's
if
fun.
y'all missed it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
All right, 888-900-3393. We've got to get to this Nancy Pelosi thing. The Chinatown, China country controversy there. What did she really mean? Biden has spent some money on Nancy Pelosi's favorite ice cream. We'll get into that. A lot of good stuff from Joe.
We got a Joe Biden montage, don't we?
Yes, we do. All coming up. Hey, welcome. It is Pat Gray. And my orchestra is here as well. Keith is directing it. So
I mean, it's kind of crowded over there in the corner.
Mm-hmm. And there's social distancing. As much as they can in the corner. I mean, with a full orchestra in the corner.
As long as you're bringing up the Pat Gray orchestra here, it's probably a good time as any to say that the tuba guy, he's got some personal hygiene issues.
Yeah.
And should probably always practice social distancing.
Yeah, even when this is over, for sure. Yeah. Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about Brick House. Field of Greens for Brick House Nutrition. Of course, we've been talking about illness a lot and immune systems a lot. What builds your immune system? Really good food. Really healthy eating, which I don't do any of. That's why I take Field of Greens from Brick House Nutrition. I just take a scoop of it. One scoop has a full serving of real USDA organic, certified organic fruits and vegetables. Boost your energy and support your healthy immune system. So since I never get any vegetables in my diet, this provides me with them. And doctors agree, a diet of fruits and vegetables can reduce your risk of heart disease. And Field of Greens is prebiotic, probiotic, a great source of vitamins and fiber and other nutrients. Right now, you can save 15% off of your first order when you use the offer code PAT at brickhousepat.com. Then while you're there, subscribe, and you'll save another 10% every single month. So this virus season, turn your immune system into a brick house with Field of Greens from Brick House Nutrition at brickhousepat.com. That's brickhousepat.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
By the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun.
Okay.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
What? Wait,
so it was
what?
straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
Okay.
And look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
Wait.
And
What?
I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
I'm sorry. What? Can we go back to? Okay, I understand. I guess the leg hair thing. Kids would rub it, then it would pop back up.
Ugh.
Creepy, but okay, I get it.
Creepy Joe Biden.
But how does that mean that you learned about roaches? And the last thing was, kids jumping on your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come in?
Yeah, I don't know when you might want to do this, but, Rob down the hall made a Joe Biden montage. It just
shows his brilliance and why you want him as president.
It's a collection of some of his greatest hits.
Yeah. This shows that the guy's got a lot to offer us as president of the United States of America.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the go. You know the thing. I got hairy legs that turn that turn blonde in the sun. No one is in a position where they have a significant financial disability as a consequence of this SARS-CoV-9 coronavirus. Roosevelt came up with a thing that was totally different than the World War II. He had the War Production Board. Corn Pop was a bad dude. They put me in the hospital and I made it out, and so I'm out. None of us want to be cooped up in our homes. So I learned about roaches. Knock sounds corny, but it's real. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Right.
Daddy, it's unfair to all of us, and it's unnecessary for all of us. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. We can't make them whole. Can I see you, Daddy? Kids jumping on my lap. Masks and gowns and masks and all. You gotta, and shields. Why are we waiting? We, the people. Corn Pop. We hold these truths. Was a bad dude. Etc. You know the thing.
A mere sampling of your Democratic nominee for president.
And actually a tiny one, a tiny sampling.
Good job with that, Rob.
Yeah, that's great stuff. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Bossy Little Teacup tweets, how do I join in the game of Pathead Bingo? Well,
okay, yeah.
All right, it's easy.
So you just go to Twitter and you go to @PatUnleashed. And usually every Friday or so, Pat will pin a different bingo board at the top of his Twitter feed. Print that up or screenshot it, whatever you do, to follow along starting Monday morning. Mm-hmm. And once you get bingo from the phrases that you hear for that week, you call in at 888-900-3393.
First one who calls wins.
Claims a prize.
It's just that easy. Rotarator tweets, Pat just took an $18 million pay cut. I'm now $18 million in debt. Mm-hmm.
So does he pay your salary? Who's that?
Pew Pew One Pew tweets, what did the president do and how did he do it to provoke that tornado?
Uh-huh.
Good question.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there was a terrible tornado again. Boy, I sure hope that Pat reads my homing pigeon message I sent this morning.
Oh, did you get that yet?
Not yet. No, still waiting for it. Okay. Still waiting. Petty Officer America, why would Pat need to use email or text messages? He's psychic. He can send messages and things via telepathy with his mind.
That's true.
And I just did.
And you see? Yeah. He's doing it again.
Did it again.
Doing it again.
Scotty Sweatman tweets, what the tangential F? What the tangential F? I think I like that better than abstract. Although abstract is much easier to say.
And spell.
I called as soon as that mummy voice went off, and that guy in New York beat me to the bingo punch. Got to put Pat on speed dial now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Exactly.
888-900-3393.
Also from Tyler's Metaphoric F. I'm still waiting on Pat's reply that he sent me via Pony Express 2 months ago. It should be there anytime, though, now.
Oh, good.
Anytime now, Tyler.
Okay. Good. And by the way, Beta Bodine says that he heard that after Bronco Nagurski was on the first Madden cover. It was the year that he lost his first appendage. So, I tell you, this thing's been around for a while.
It's been going on a long time. Yeah, it's been going on a long, long time.
Fun.
So, apparently, Joe Biden's campaign has spent nearly $11,000 on Speaker Nancy Pelosi's favorite ice cream, for which she, of course, has come under fire when she showed off her collection in an interview. I mean, how tone deaf do you have to be to do that? That is unbelievable. But Biden's campaign spent $10,600 on Pelosi's favorite ice cream as donor gifts between May 2019 and March 2020. The description for the ice cream in the FEC filing says donor gifts. Daily Caller contacted the Biden campaign to ask about the gifts, but didn't get an immediate phone call back. So, is this? So they're buying the ice cream and giving it to people? Are they giving it to Nancy Pelosi?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if she was a big donor to the Joe Biden campaign.
Really kind of weird.
Yeah, but I really hope we see that commercial that Trump created against Pelosi with her ice cream and stuff. I thought that was so powerful.
Yeah, do we have that still available?
You
or
might
do you
be
have
able
to
to
get
find that. Yeah, because I mean, this lockdown and this economic grinding to a halt is hurting so many people. Mm-hmm. And then for her to show us her fancy kitchen and all that ice cream, Trump pounced on it. That's the one thing Trump is doing with these internet ads, what we've always wanted Republicans to do.
And they never have.
Never have. You're like, but that would be a great campaign ad. Just show her there and intersplice it with people suffering and standing in food lines and stuff.
Yeah.
We turn now to that $350 billion fund to help small businesses and its workers get through the shutdown.
It will be up to Congress to restock it.
But Democrats blocking that move this morning.
They asked for $250 billion in 48 hours. I said, well, I don't think so. They objected, and I congratulate the Senate Democrats.
Speaker Pelosi, what are you going to share with us from your home?
Chocolate candy.
Thousands have been forced to wait for hours at food banks all across the country.
This is
oh my
chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got to restock the ice cream.
You don't want to eat up everything all at one time.
I can't do it much longer. I'm trying so hard.
We were, shall we say, enjoying.
Having to admit that, yeah, we're starving, and
I like it better than anything else.
Taping this segment, there are 22 million people out of work.
This specific program is about stopping job losses today.
This is hurting people bad.
Other people in our family look for some other flavors, but
right now it's survival mode. You don't know where that next something else is going to come from.
I don't know what I would have done if ice cream were not invented. I just wonder.
Let him eat ice cream. Nancy Antoinette. That's powerful. That is brilliant.
So good. Just a home run.
Wow. 888-900-3393. In Harris County, which is where Houston is located, it's one of the counties Houston's located. Houston's located in about 84 counties. It's that stinking big.
And I'd like to point out that's a conservative estimate, too.
Yeah, it is. It is. There are, 250 or something counties, and that's in Texas, but Houston encompasses more than all the counties in Texas. It's massive. Anyway, a Harris County judge just ordered residents to wear masks when they go outside or face fines and jail time. And to that, law enforcement in Harris County said, no. Nope. We're not going to enforce that. Sorry. We're not going to arrest people and fine them or put them in jail for not wearing a mask, which is, kind of as it should be because there is no law. There's no law on the books stating Houstonians must wear masks. And judges can't make up laws. I don't know if they are aware of that, but you can't. Also, some local official must have mandated that. That doesn't make it a law. And a judge can't just throw out punishments over non-existent laws. So at least some law enforcement agencies are saying, absolutely not, this is unconstitutional, and we're not doing it. We're not going to do it.
Yeah, Texas, not the state to try to get away with that.
No, fortunately, even in Houston where, in the city, obviously Democrats rule, just like they do in Dallas and Austin and San Antonio and every other major urban area. But there are other people in those areas that understand and still love and respect and uphold the Constitution. And they did. Now, that's not the case in Meridian, Idaho, where a mother of two was just arrested by Meridian, Idaho police. After she violated the city's ban against, again, there's no law on the books. There's not a law that says, hey, you can't go to playgrounds. So she violated the city's ban against using playground equipment at a local park when she and other families allowed their kids to play in a closed-off area. Within hours of her interaction with law enforcement, part of which was caught on video, demonstrators congregated in front of the Meridian City Hall to protest the actions of their local government. Good. Extended footage of the exchange with officers also drew some online backlash against the arrested mother and local residents.
Yeah, we got the video.
Let's see that.
From that.
This is crazy.
Because you guys aren't listening. I just told you exit the playground area. It's easy. We're not trespassing. Are you going to cite everyone for not social distancing over here?
Ma'am.
Are you going to arrest people for not social distancing?
You have 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
3. Arrest me for being a depart.
2.
Do it.
Boom.
Report it.
Okay, well, she made him do that.
Officer, you don't want to do that. Officer, you don't.
You're being detained right now.
Am I being arrested or detained? Am I arrested or detained? Someone call Idaho Freedom Foundation right now and get them on the phone.
Call now. I'm recording. Someone else call. Okay, can you call?
There you go.
Her
All right.
kids are
there
here.
it is.
Idaho.
I do have a little bit different perception of it now.
Of her
having seen it.
Saying, do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
She told him to do
and
it.
Apparently
and
she
he
was,
did it.
Yeah, apparently she was there for a while.
And they asked him, okay, the park is closed, and should it be? You know, that's up to interpretation, I guess.
Okay, but now...
But they asked her to leave.
I understand.
And she didn't.
I totally am with you. I'm following you 100%. However, if she doesn't, does that video make it out? Okay. Do we find out about this to make the larger point that these local ordinances are so draconian and ridiculous?
Yeah.
That if she just accepted what they said
and left
well before this
Yeah.
and just walked away, no video, it's kind of like, not to equate this, okay, but it's like the civil rights movement. The images, that's what really propelled it. When people were sitting in their living rooms eating dinner and seeing those images, that's when people started supporting the civil rights movement, okay? So without images, without that addition to the story, then we're just going to be all just saying, okay, officer, I'll go home now. And everybody's just going to comply. And it's going to become the new normal that Governor Wolf is telling us about.
Yep, that is true. That is true. And she did force the issue, though. So
I would like to
I have less sympathy for her because she said, do it.
Yeah.
Arrest me. And they did. That's what they're going to do. If you put them in that position, that's what they're going to do. But the police weren't responsible for the ordinance or the executive order or however that happened in Meridian.
They didn't beat her over the head with a club.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yes. The thing is, they shouldn't have said you can't go to the park. I mean, as long as you're social distancing, keep it away from other people, there's no reason you can't take your kids to the park and play for a while.
Yeah. And in Texas, though, as you just read, it plays out differently where the police are like, we're not going to enforce it. Sorry.
Yeah, which I love.
Which, by the way, the state is opening up. But like you said, the cities that are run by Democrats. Didn't you just have the other day, Dallas commissioners voted to extend their stay-at-home order through May 15th.
See? Yeah, you're right.
Meanwhile, you've got Greg Abbott
telling people to open.
Yeah, what did he say? He told Glenn yesterday, we're going to, quote, open so many businesses, end quote. That's an Abbott, not a Trump quote, by the way. Open so many businesses. So I guess we're about to even extend it further here in Texas. But again, the cities, not the same story.
That's for sure. All right, 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. If you're thinking of replacing your carpets because you got pet stains, before you do that and spend all that money and have all that hassle, tear up your house, try Genesis 950 on those stains. Genesis 950 is an amazing pet stain remover, and it's made in America, which I love. With water, Genesis 950 breaks down the bonds of stains and odor so they're gone for good. Its antibacterial component removes pet stains from carpeting and padding. You can use it in a carpet cleaning machine. It's so green, it's safe for your family and pets, so you can lay down on the carpet afterwards. I mean, it's really fantastic. If you've tried everything else, like we had, we tried so many different products to try to get pet stains out of our carpet. Or stains, like Kool-Aid, the red Kool-Aid stuff that has been spilled on the carpet by our grandkids. And nothing gets it out. until Genesis 950.
Ta-da.
My wife can't. She can't stand not having this in the house because it just plain works, and we get stains like that all the time. Our dog just thinks she has the run of the place, and she uses it as her lavatory. She'll run off in some corner of the house and pee, and then it's like, oh, geez, I didn't see that.
That's gross as the abstract.
It's nasty. Yes. Yes, is the abstract F. Mm-hmm. So the Genesis 950 just removes it, and then we're fine. It also disinfects and kills viruses, which is important to note right now. Mix a third Genesis 950 with 2/3 water, spray on the surface, wipe it clean with fresh water. Same instructions apply for use on floors. You can do this on your whole house, bathrooms and kitchen, countertops, granite quartz, garage floors, just about anything. Genesis 950, it's available on Amazon.com if you want. But if you order a gallon direct at Genesis950.com, you'll get a free spray bottle and a discount using the offer code BLAZE. That's Genesis950.com, offer code BLAZE. Just encountered about a 38-pound cockroach in the bathroom, which was exciting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's always fun. About the size of a Buick, this cockroach. And it was flipped over on its back. Little legs were kicking all over the place.
So what did you do? Did you put it out of its misery, or did you let it go?
I did put it out of its misery. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I suppose the ASPCA will be all over me today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to imagine you stepping on a Buick. That's a
I didn't step on it. I just took a wad of toilet paper, scooped it up in that, and then flushed it down the toilet.
Oh, so you didn't there was no crushing.
No, I didn't crush it. I did not crush it.
He's
drowned now somewhere in the sewer system.
He's just going on a swim.
That's all. That's all it is.
Yeah,
right?
kids.
Take a little swim.
How do they do in water? Because, I mean, it takes a nuclear blast to kill them.
Yeah, I don't know. He might still be alive.
And cockroaches
might still be alive.
Swim. I bet he's okay. I bet we're going to drink him in a week when it comes back through the pipes. Let's see. Can swim, but not in the fashion you might expect. They simply close their spiracles. Can we say that on the air? So that no water can enter their bodies and then travel up the drain, or down it, if you will.
No, wait, really?
It's like gobble up and gobble down.
So
it's travel up or travel down.
I should have squished that thing then, right?
Nice job.
Should have killed it dead.
Congratulations with that one. By the way, if...
I didn't want to hear that crunching sound.
All right,
that just really grosses
feel
me
it
out.
or anything like that.
No,
I'm with you.
I want to.
Man,
no.
One morning I got out of my car. Sorry, kids. Cover your ears for a second. I got out of my car, 4 a.m. in Charleston, South Carolina, near the coast there. And I stepped out of my vehicle, and there's this nasty crunch. I'm like, what did I step on? I thought it was like a leaf or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little crab.
A crab?
That I had stepped on. It was bad feeling, man.
Oh,
yeah, I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, but...
take it home and cook it up and eat it? No? Okay.
No, I had to Old Yeller it there in the parking lot. It was a bad ordeal.
All right. 888-900-3393. Edit Pat Unleashed on Twitter. An Idaho woman, just to continue our theme from before the break, is facing 6 months in jail and a $1,000 fine, just for good measure, because she hosted a yard sale during the lockdown.
Oh, that'll learn her.
Uh-huh. You teach her some manners. Were you trying to kill millions of people? Is that what you're trying to do with your yard sale? You're trying to kill millions of people. In fact, you probably have killed millions of people. Christina Thompson was caught trying to sell off items that filled the entire front yard, spilled into the backyard, and could be seen from Highway 41.
Wait a minute. What's happening here? What is this, a flea market in her house?
They could be seen all the way from Highway 41, Keith. You can't allow that to happen. You can't allow it.
No.
So this scofflaw, this felon, this despicable
like
excuse for a human being was put in prison. And they threw away the key.
Good.
They didn't even give her a trial. Just put her directly in prison because that's the executive order. I'm mandating it now. Go directly to federal prison, in fact.
Wow.
Federal prison where you can't even, you got to serve 2/3 or 3/4 of your time before you can even be considered for parole.
Have they executed her yet for selling children's used clothing?
They're going to. They should anyway, if they haven't.
I mean, it was gently used, but still.
Was it gently used?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay.
You could see it from Highway 41, so that's how I know.
Pre-owned. I like to call it pre-owned.
Pre-owned clothes.
Clothing. Yeah, so 888-900-3393. More coming up in a minute here. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. Some tweets at Pat Unleashed. The Steve42 tweets, what is it with these rich leftists and their ice cream? Isn't ice cream bad for the environment and cruel to cows?
Right.
Yeah.
That was a cow.
Okay, thank you. Sir Nasty tweets, at this point, Biden makes his own version of bad lip reading every time he speaks.
That's true.
Wes Ussery? Sorry, Pat, but it's too windy for smoke signals today. I'll try that newfangled telegraph thingy.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's good. Who monitors the telegraph here, by the way, guys? Who keeps an eye on that? Daniel? Martin? Who's on that? All right.
From Yenzer Phoenix, I wonder how many people wouldn't understand Keith's old Yeller reference in today's world.
Sorry.
Probably 80-90%.
My bad.
B. de Bodine, if the cockroach was on its back, it may have been pleading with you to milk it, Pat.
Oh, you missed a chance to bring us some rules.
From butt stupid. So if she says arrest me and they do, good thing she didn't say then just shoot me.
No kidding. Careful.
From Apocalyptica, I'm totally with the arrested mom. I'd be so ticked off too that I'd just say the same thing. Especially when none of the cops had masks or gloves on. One rule for me, one for thee.
No kidding. Look at that. That keeps happening.
Yeah, that's true.
Whether it's the police officers trying to enforce these crackdowns on, I don't know, living.
I tend not to believe the cop or blame the cops, though. I blame the city officials who are doing these stupid edicts.
But so are these edicts not also saying that police officers have to wear
I don't know.
PPEs?
In that particular district,
right.
I don't know.
But it's happening everywhere.
Maybe.
And it's happening at these press conferences. Nobody is doing what they're telling us to do.
True. Well, we're being told to do different things is part of the problem. When you look at the media reports, they'll tell you one thing, and then they'll tell you another thing. You just get so confused. I mean, look at this. Here's an example. Of the media telling us one thing and then doing another thing and then telling us another thing and then but if you do that then you'll have to do this. Check this out. The contradictions of the media. How many different ways can I say this before it finally plays?
I don't know. I'm just wondering if hello? Clip number 3 on your sheet. It says what we should all be doing
I really don't
/ media.
understand why everybody isn't following the same rules right now. They're very clear. So let's take a minute and let's go over them again. First, you must not leave the house for any reason, unless of course you have a reason, and then you may leave the house. All stores are closed except those that are open. And all stores must close unless, of course, they need to stay open. This virus is deadly. But don't be afraid of it. It can only kill people who are vulnerable and also those who are not vulnerable. We should stay locked down until the virus stops infecting people. And it will only stop infecting people if enough of us get infected that we build immunity. So it is very important that we get infected and also do not get infected. You should not go to the doctor's office or the hospital unless you have to go there. Unless, of course, you are too sick to go there. This virus has no effect on children except for those children in which it affects. The virus remains active on different surfaces for 2 hours or 4 hours or 6 hours, but in most cases it's days and not hours, and it needs a damp environment or a cold environment that is warm and dry in the air. Unless the air is plastic. Schools are closed, so you need to homeschool your children unless you can send them to school because you are not home. If you are at home, you can school your children using various portals and online classrooms unless you have poor internet, more than one child, only one computer, or you are working from home. Baking cakes can be considered math, science, or art. If you are home educating, you can include household chores within their education curriculum. And if you are home educating, you may start drinking at approximately 10 a.m. every day. If you are not home educating children, you may also start drinking at approximately 10 a.m. Masks are useless at protecting you against the virus, but you still need to wear one because it can save lives. And in some cases, it may even be mandatory, but also maybe not. You must not go to work, but you can get another job, at which point you may go to work. Stay home. I don't know how many more celebrities we need to have tell you how important it is to go outside and take care of your mental health. There is no shortage of groceries in the supermarket. There are simply many things missing. You don't need to go buy a bunch of toilet paper, but you should buy some in case you need it. If you are sick, you may go out once you are better, but those in your household, they cannot go out once you are better unless, of course, they need to go out. Animals are not affected by the virus, except for that cat that tested positive in Belgium in February, plus a couple tigers. The number of corona-related deaths will be announced daily, but we don't know how many people are infected because we were only testing those who are almost dead to determine if that's what they will die of. The people who die of corona who are not counted won't or will be counted, but maybe not. To help protect yourself during these times, you should be eating well and exercising, but exercising only eating what you have at home to avoid going to the stores unless you need toilet paper or a fence panel. It's important to get fresh air, but don't go to parks, but do go walk in other places. Just don't sit down unless you are old or pregnant. But if you do sit down, don't sit for too long. Unless you are old and you are pregnant, in which case you need to sit down. But if you do sit down, don't eat unless you've had a long walk, which you are allowed to do if you are old or pregnant, except for times in which you aren't. Don't visit old people. But you have a moral obligation to take care of old people and bring them food and medicine. And finally, no businesses will go down due to coronavirus except those businesses that go down due to COVID-19. I hope this cleared up any questions about what we should and should not be doing during this time. Please educate your friends and family with this information so we can remove any and all confusion surrounding this time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really did a pretty good job on that.
Covered it all.
And I mean, we've heard all of that.
I mean, any questions?
All of that.
Any questions? I think we covered it all.
No,
right?
you covered everything.
It's very clear.
Very, very clear.
You know what to do and what not to do.
That summed it up so nicely. What we've been hearing for the last 3 months. It's just, it was nicely done. 888-900-3393. And, of course, the jobs report is out this week, again, because it's Thursday. So the good news is the numbers were down again for the third straight week, down to 4.4 million people who lost their jobs, bringing the total to over 26 million people in 5 weeks. 26 million in 5 weeks. But don't worry about it. Don't be in a rush to get back to work. I mean, what are you greedy? You greedy bastards! Sit home and shut up. Unless you have to go out, then go out and speak if you have to talk. But don't talk without a mask on. Although the mask won't do you any good because they don't help. I mean, that's
exactly.
So 26 million people in 5 weeks. I don't know what's it going to take. What is it going? And that's what they're saying. If you say any manner of, look, we need to stop doing this shutdown thing, and we need to get back to work, and we need to find a way to normalize our lives here, then you're told, what? You're just some greedy bastard that's just trying to profit? Well, wait, how am I profiting off of this? I want people not to lose their jobs. I'm in a job. I'm doing my job right now. So how would I benefit if more people go back to work? I'm already benefiting. You know, we're not the ones who've been expelled from jobs. We're trying to prevent that from happening to more people. And there will be massive pain after this pandemic if we don't find a way to get America going again. You can't just have 26 million people losing their jobs in 5 weeks and then think, okay, at the end of this, we'll be fine. Just wait. Just wait. I know you don't have a job. We gave you $1,200. What do you want? $1,200 is going to last about an hour and a half for most people. It might pay the rent. It might pay part of the rent or mortgage. That's not going to pay all your bills. That's not going to come close to paying all your bills if you're out of work. So, I don't know. It's unbelievable what we're going through now, and the fact that these Democrats just don't get it. They hate Trump so much, and I think they want the economy to be so devastated that they can just point to it in November and say, look, Trump did this. Trump devastated this economy. It's completely in ruins. We're going to have to do something else with Joe Biden and Michelle Obama. Actually, Valerie Jarrett said, absolutely not. There's no
Oh, she seems like an honest
way.
broker.
Yeah, she does. I know. But I believe her because Michelle Obama has made no indication that she wants the job, that she wants to run for office in any way. And that's what Jarrett said. She doesn't want office. She doesn't want to do this. So good. Thank you for that little favor there. That would be
she gets
catastrophic.
into politics. That's less time for her to work on those fabulous arms.
True.
And you can't be neglecting those things.
Right. That's very, very true. It takes constant effort to keep those arms the way they look.
Yeah. That's a full-time job in of itself, I'm sure.
No doubt about it. All right. Let me tell you about a new sponsor to the show, the Classic Learning Test, also referred to as the CLT exam. They didn't foresee this coming, this whole pandemic thing that has kind of shut down the SAT and ACTs. They would have rather had this been done a different way, but here we are where the ACT and the SATs have been canceled. And look, the SAT is administered by the College Board, which is a progressive group of people that are trying to indoctrinate our children with leftist ideology anyway. So try this. Rather than canceling any tests due to COVID-19, CLT has tripled the testing dates available this spring. More importantly, they're making the CLT available to students via remote proctoring at home. They've been developing and piloting this technology for almost a year now. And their initial plan was just to roll this out for remote proctoring as an option for students in rural areas. But now they're excited to make this available to all students because of the pandemic. So if you don't know much about CLT as the third option, a lot of colleges are now looking at it as a solution. The exams are taken online in just 2 hours. You get the same day results. It's the Classic Learning Test. It's been used by tens of thousands of students, hundreds of colleges, and it provides the most accurate, rigorous measure of academic formation, accomplishment, and potential. And of course, better tests create better students. To register for the April 25th official college exam or the April 29th CLT 10, that's the Classic Learning Test alternative to the PSAT, visit cltexam.com. Both these exams can be taken in the comfort of your own home. That's cltexam.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So some restaurants are opening up. Is this for sit-down service? Can you actually open for sit-down service? In Texas.
Think so, because I walked into an Arby's yesterday in the city of Fort Worth, and in there they had tables with big numbers on them, up to 10, I believe. And it basically said, you can use this table.
Couldn't sit there.
Yeah, you can use this table, and then a couple down. You can use this table, a couple down.
Really?
So,
And did you sit down?
No.
No.
I just went in, grabbed my stuff, and left.
It had virus germs all over it. I'm not sitting there. That will be the fear, I think, for a while.
Well, that wasn't my fear. I was just in a
wasn't your
hurry.
fear?
I had to go. So anyhow.
Well, there's a social distancing waitress who has shown us how this can be done.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, she's out social distancing here.
All right. All right. Oh, there we go. Just kind of
staying far enough away that
there you go.
And just tossing the stuff to the tables.
He's breaking stuff though. Here, I don't know if that's gonna work. And I guess that was good service.
She had to stay 1.5 meters away. I don't know if you noticed that on the sidewalk. It was written 1.5 meters. Huh. So I don't know how far that was. Is that 6 inches or is it 45 miles? I don't know. There's no way to tell.
It's hard because, I mean,
no way to
the
tell.
Video, the perspective, it's hard to kind of gauge how far away she was.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if she's adhering to the 1.5 meters because, I don't know, nobody knows how far 1.5 meters is.
Yeah, and then what was she saying to the
Yeah,
customers?
I don't know, just a little, I think she was asking how their day has been so far.
Oh, okay.
How's your day been going so far? Then she tossed him the plate.
Uh-huh.
I hate that question more than poison. I don't know why. It just really bugs me.
So how is your day going?
How's your day going so far?
How is it going,
It's
Pat?
none of your business. None of your business.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. If I wanted to talk to you about that, I probably would have come up and said, hey, ask me about my day so far. Because I really want to tell you about that, but I didn't. So
this is true, I believe, for everyone in his life. I don't know for a fact because I'm not with Pat every second of the day. But let's just say it's in the morning time and I'm in the room here and he shows up. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I say more than good morning, I'm asking for trouble.
No, that's not true.
Oh, what? Like I can't say like, hey man, so how are things going? Because then he starts.
That would be asinine at 4 o'clock in the morning. Things are going crappy so far.
He starts throwing stuff at me. I'm having to duck. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I got up at 3 o'clock this morning. How do you think it's going so far?
I
Okay,
I was just making small
Shut
talk.
up.
I was just making small talk.
Keith is way too chipper really early in the morning, and nobody else is. But Keith is chipper early in the morning.
Keith is loud. I think it's the problem.
Yeah, that is very true.
Keith is just loud.
That's
he's
very true.
Chipper.
That's a good point. All right, John Kerry. The coronavirus is America's wake-up call with respect to climate change. Here's what John Kerry has to say. And, we've been waiting for John Kerry to sound off on this. And finally, he has. So coronavirus may be America, the world's great wake-up call with respect to the challenge of climate because this is coming at us. What? Okay, it might be our wake-up call because this is coming at us.
This is coming at us.
Okay. If you think pandemics are bad today, wait until you have the warming at a greater level than it is now. Well, let's see. If it warms at a greater level than it is now, wouldn't that be good for the virus? It would kill the virus.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or we've been told the virus isn't affected by heat, but it is affected by heat. We've heard both those things, so I don't know which is true.
Right. And then he writes this op-ed, right?
Yes. Every scientific report and judgment shows that we're heading into amazing negative impacts. The feedback loops on the Earth are just horrendous right now. The feedback loops on the Earth are just horrendous right now. What does that mean?
Don't make me Google it. Don't care.
I'm not going to go through them right now. So that's the measure. That's the meaning of the deaths thus far. What? Okay, I don't even know what he's trying to say here.
Keep that aside. I'm going to analyze that later. I'm going to take it down to the translation wing of the Blaze.
Unbelievable.
See if we can get that looked at.
I've missed him though. I voted for the bill before I voted against it, or was it the other way around? I can't remember now.
Was it $87 billion? That's what it was?
Was it that? Remember when $87
That's
billion
exactly
was a
where
lot
I was
of money?
going. Yep.
$87 billion? That's like pocket change.
I mean,
we've got that in our pocket.
Seriously.
When we go to 7-Eleven now.
Wait, we...
Well, we don't, but the government does. Uncle Sam does. When he goes to the 7-Eleven, it's like, oh, that's $87 billion.
I was going to say, no wonder all of these cashiers are making small talk with you. They're trying to get in good with you if you're walking around with $87 billion in your pocket.
Can you break an $87 billion bill? Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
Is that the one with Grover Cleveland on it?
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's apparently, man, you think we got problems on this planet. There's a disappearing exoplanet.
An exoplanet?
That may never have existed at all. Wait, okay, so scientists thought there was a planet there, and we were supposed to believe them, and now there's no planet there, and we're still supposed to believe them. They never get anything wrong. They're just righter now than they were before, which I love. That applies to climate change, and it applies to the stinking virus. More than 4,000 exoplanets have been found so far, But one that was discovered in 2004 may not actually be a planet at all. It could just be space dust.
Okay, how much tax money is NASA getting to say, yeah, there's this planet, and then 15, 20 years later, no,
it's just space dust.
Just kidding.
Wait, you can confuse space dust for a planet?
Was there like dust on the lens that looked like a... What are we doing?
The planet was given the name Fomalhaut B by NASA in 2004. After it was observed by the Hubble Space Telescope, it's more likely an expanding cloud of very fine dust particles from two icy bodies that smashed into each other. That's stupid.
That is stupid.
But again, believe everything scientists say every time they say it. And if you don't, you're a Luddite. You're a science denier.
You know what else is stupid? I bet the reason they got rid of that planet is because they named it what?
Fomalhaut B.
I mean, it just wasn't catchy enough. And they were like, all right, let's just lose the name. You know what? Let's just lose the whole planet.
Right.
Let's pretend there was no planet. Okay, because, I mean, we ruined it from the beginning with a name like
Fomalhaut B. Our study, which analyzed all available archival Hubble data on Fomalhaut, revealed several characteristics that together paint a picture that the planet-sized object may never have existed in the first place.
But wait a minute, is there a Fomalhaut A then? I mean, that really begs the question.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't cover that in the story, which kind of hacks me off.
Yeah, me too. Do you have time for a quick animal video?
I got time for the monkey.
Yes! That's what I wanted.
Monkey flying
Whoever
a kite
tagged
in
me on
India.
This. Thank you.
I got to see it.
Okay, there's the monkey. See, look. Now, see, he's pulling in the string, and here comes the kite. See that? He's pulling it in.
Yeah, he's flying a kite.
Right. See? Look at that.
CGI.
Oh,
That's
no.
CGI.
Really?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, the kite is CGI'd.
Then what's the monkey doing? Can you play it again? You think it's CGI, really?
Yeah, yeah. Do that.
No. Well, what else is he doing? Is he signaling a plane?
Well, his arms are CGI'd, too.
It's all CGI?
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to the corner of the world that aired this for us, but do you think they're really spending a lot of time there with CGI?
Oh, yeah, in India? Yeah. Yeah, they're big into technology there. Sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
All right. Speaking of people being up on roofs when they shouldn't be, like that monkey should not have been up there.
Right. Careful.
Neither should these guys in Australia have been up on the roof, and they're told as much when a police helicopter shows up and tells them about it. They were drinking on a rooftop. Okay, they look to be a few feet apart, maybe.
Yeah, what's the deal?
Well, maybe they might not be 6 feet apart. The building is surrounded by police. Need you to return to the ground floor.
Yeah.
Return to the bottom immediately.
Immediately, please.
Police intercepted the group and escorted them off the roof.
I can't.
Really?
I mean, seriously. Stop it.
Before fining them for breaking lockdown rules in Queensland. Get out of here.
No kidding. I can't. I can't take this.
Each of them was fined more than $1,000. Shut up.
Whatever. I'm not paying that.
Wow. Okay, when you show me the law that says I can't be on my roof, then I'll pay your $1,000.
Now, wait, you remember now there was that's what they were told in, is it Kentucky? Was the pastor in Kentucky who was told by the police officer, your rights have been suspended? When he showed up at the parking lot and he goes, what about my rights? Your rights have been suspended.
Okay, jeez. Wow.
But yet we're the evil ones, right?
Yeah.
Who want to go back to work.
Yep.
Okay, and go to church.
Crazy. All right, well, we will finish off the week together tomorrow, right and early.
A frivolous Friday, right?
Yes.
Yay.
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.